Welcome back to Anime News Update. Coming up in the show, Studio 4 finally finds a way to let you see their movies. Production IG gets the rights to remake Fooly Cooly. Cyborg 009 vs. Devilman now has a full trailer. And another Evangelion ad slowly destroys my will to live. This week's far more cheerful. Let's jump right in. This time we actually have good news about Studio 4 that doesn't involve Kickstarter. Recently announced over Twitter, and then later as a press release, 4 will be making some of their movies available on Netflix, but not just in Japan. You can watch most of them as long as you can read English subs. This is a wonderful thing, since ignoring what I said last week about 4 jumping into bed with Imafume over Red Ash, and finding out the deal was, let's say, limp, unsatisfying, and kinda felt cheap in the end. Seriously, they're still trying to get funding for that anime on their website. Despite this, 4 is a really good studio. But with only few exceptions, the only way to enjoy most of their films is by, let's say, less than legal means. As of this recording, because Netflix is never bloody consistent, you can see Princess Arate, Mind Game, Genius Party Beyond, and then on September 15th, they'll add Tweeny Witches. That's not a bad lineup for the most part. I would have really liked to see Tekken Kincrete on that list, or My Last Day. The Jesus anime. Not kidding, look it up and freak out your friends. 4 can sometimes be a little bit desperate for work to pay the bills. Yeah, that looks like pain incarnate. But if you watch any of 4 movies, you have to see Mind Game. It's one of my favorite movies, and there simply isn't anything else like it. It's creative, stylistic, and heartwarming. Just ignore the people jumping over giant bamboo dicks in the background. The movie's really deep, okay? Just take my word for it. This is a bit of shocking news. Out of all the things I've talked about on this show, I've never been more confused about an announcement than this. Production IG just acquired the rights to remake Fooly Cooly. Or should I say, they just got Studio Gainax's half of the rights. Fooly Cooly was made in 2000, and frankly is the anime I used to define that decade. It was a result of a nowadays unheard of collaboration between Gainax and Production IG, the relatively new kids on the block in the late 90s, who were changing the landscape of how people viewed anime. Gainax came out of nowhere with Evangelion, and they continue to beat its corpse like a piñata to get money out of it even to this day. More on that later. And Production IG made Ghost in the Shell. But at some point, they teamed up under Kazuya Tsurumaki, who I presume is a man who loves him some psychedelic drugs, to make an OVA that, as they put it, breaks all the rules of anime. Consistent animation style? Screw that! Let's have fun and put as much awesome on the screen as we can fit. Should we hire a musician? Nah. I've been listening to the Pillows lately. They'll do just fine. And what about plot? I have 3 words for you. Swing the bat. This was a highly experimental show that ran for 6 episodes, and really, I can't think of any way to improve it. Honestly, off the top of my head, I can't think of any one anime I'd call perfect. But this one comes pretty damn close, which leaves us with this announcement. I can't say if I'm worried, excited, or caught somewhere in between that void. Production IG is one of my favorite studios, and it's not like they're in bad shape right now with Attack on Titan, Psycho Pass, and Ghost in the Shell Arise. But then again, this isn't the daring new studio on the block with everything to prove like they used to be. I hate to say it, but currently I don't think their name is synonymous with daring and innovation like it was in that era. Sadly, I think I'd be more excited if Studio Trigger handled this one, since they're the group that broke away from Gainax to do more experimental storytelling, sometimes involving sentient thongs. I just don't know about this one, guys. There's not much I can say until things develop. I hope it's good, but I'm stuck floating in between joy and dread. Probably best if we keep going. Oh goody, this one's been building for a while. We finally have a full trailer for Cyborg 009 vs. Devilman, aka 2 great manga that taste great together, aka several old school otaku now need a new change of pants. Cyborg 009 was originally published back in 1964, but some of you guys may have caught one of the adaptations on Toonami back in the day. It was written by industry legend Shotaro Ishinomori, who's known for making Kamen Rider and Super Sentai. You know that show that Power Rangers got all their costumes and fight scenes from. And if you think Power Rangers is cheesy, just take a look at what they used back in the 70s. Devilman published back in 1972 and was created by Gonagai, another industry legend from the early days but for completely different reasons. Ishinomori's work is very kid-friendly, and Gonagai is the godfather of ultra-violence and hentai. He tested the limits of the medium even back then. Seriously, some of his work includes a series about a teenage boy who accidentally waves his cock in a ritualistic dance that summons two demons who grant wishes, but they mostly try and bang his mom and sister. Yeah, this guy's kind of messed up, but a shockingly good writer. When he tries. Devilman's good, okay?
You devoured my friend! You bastard!
Why do I keep using that clip? The problem here is the advertising has fans a little upset. This wasn't what we thought we were getting. Not at all. Before announcing the Versus OVA, they decided to advertise both as separate shows with their own posters and promo art. 009 got a lukewarm response since it's been adapted so many times. But in all the time it's been published, Devilman, on the other hand, has never had a good adaptation. They're all god-awful.
I've done it. I'm Devilman.
Both I and several outlets reported on the Devilman announcement, and it received overwhelmingly positive feedback, and fans are still talking about how they can't wait to get their hands on the new series. And it turns out that it's someone's fanfic with a budget. Okay, that's not really fair, the OVA still looks good, but fans have been wanting a new Devilman anime for decades now, and showing us something we've been craving for years just to tell us later that it's something else entirely? That's not really your best move.
Devilman.
Speaking of advertising that makes me want to tear my eyes out, we have another Evangelion ad. You know, when I started this show, I thought I'd poke some fun at some weird Eva products and that would be it. Now I'm starting to realize that this will never end. Why do you keep doing this to me? Is it because you ran out of money for the first Evangelion, and you never want to have to make an ending with Sharpies again?
You ran out of ink too, didn't you, you bastards?
I know a lot of people want to give you guys money so they can make purple and green tat, but the way Gainax sells out this show's brand would make George Lucas blush. You'll never guess what it is this time. I dare you. Vegetable juice. Evangelion vegetable juice. They have juice boxes that look like units 1 through 3 fighting a giant tomato as Masato narrates. What does Eva even have to do with a carton of processed tomato water? Shut up, they didn't even do that. And this isn't even the first time they've done this. This is the second ad they've run. And what's the tagline this time? I have to know. The project of breaking down the vegetable walls? Hate. Hate! There are 387.44 million bytes in rendered layers in this video. If the word hate were engraved on each pixel, it would not equal 1/1 billionth of the shame I feel. For you, shill. See, I read things other than manga. Shill! Which of you would like to play my little game? Isis-chan!